You've probably heard of reps in reserve, you've probably heard of training to failure, but the one thing that you've probably never really heard people speak about is really pain tolerance and the importance of expanding the amount of pain that your mind can really withstand in order to see growth. So we all know that growth comes from pain, okay? So that means the more pain that you can withstand, endure, the more you will grow. And a lot of guys will keep so many reps in reserve, okay, without understanding the importance of taking your mind to that place. Even after like 6 to 8 reps, usually after around 6 to 8, that's where most people will start giving up. That's where most people will start feeling like, this is burning so much, it's burning, and then you just give up. But those are the reps, those are the important ones. Now I'll tell you a bit of a story. So just the other day, I was training with one of my clients and I noticed that when this guy would get to around 6 to 8 reps, he would kind of, if it's like a squat, like he feels that danger, right? And you start kind of getting scared. All of the self-doubts, the limiting beliefs, the things that you're afraid of happening, all of those things start rising up, right? But I'll be honest, guys, with experience, with knowing that you are safe, with knowing that you can push those boundaries and continuously doing it every single session, the amount of confidence that that builds, and then also knowing your limits and knowing how much more that you can get out of your body. Because here's the thing, guys, your body is way stronger than you guys believe it is. As soon as you start feeling fear and doubt and limiting beliefs that come into your head that force you to stop working, those are the things holding you back. Because it's funny because, so many people know about David Goggins and they know about how hard he pushes. They know about how much he really puts into his training, how hard he trains. And it's easy to just look past it. It's easy to just think that, he is just one out of X number of people, but we all have it in us. We all have that fire in us, We all have it. I've seen it in my clients. I've seen it in myself. You just have to take yourself to that place. You have to push yourself to that place. And yeah, it's going to be scary. Yeah, it's going to be tough. But I'm telling you guys, you will only grow, and I only grew when I took myself past the points where I thought wasn't possible. I took myself way past it. That's when I grew. But before that, I was listening to the 10 to 12 reps per set. Sure, I'm not saying that's bad, but you should be using as much weight as possible for the target rep range. Now the target rep range, depending on the exercise, can sometimes be 6 to 8, 10 to 12, 12 to 15, depending on the muscle group, right? Now, as I said, you want to be using the most and exerting the most amount of force possible to lift that weight. You shouldn't be, using the small, you shouldn't just be getting yourself close to the 10 to 12, dropping the weight and just being like, all right, man, I'm done. I'm gonna go home and kick my feet up and eat Cheetos. That's not the point, right? The point is you showed up to the gym. You're already there, okay? You're already in the presence of the place where you're supposed to see growth, right? Put on some nasty playlists, put on your hoodie, wear sweatpants, do what you gotta do, and you should really be in there for one reason, and that is to expand the muscle of the mind, okay? David Goggins has a saying, callous your mind. Now, in my opinion, the mind isn't something like your knuckles or some body part that you can just callus, right? The mind, in of itself, is more like a muscle. You want to make your muscle dense. You want to make it, something that can carry weight, right? It's the most powerful thing that you have in your body. It can be used in business. It can be used in relationships. It can be used in life, in everything, in your workouts, everything. The only time that I genuinely saw growth was when I was able to really utilize my mind in the way that it's supposed to be used. Most of you, when you go into the gym, you're not doing that. You're not pushing your mind to its limits, so that way every single session you're growing. That's how you see growth. It's only when you've pushed your mind to its limits, time and time and time and time again, that's when you're going to see the growth. That's when you're going to see it. You're not going to see it from just going till like the point where it starts burning and then giving up. You're only going to see it once you've taken it that far, once you've taken it to the point where you have to give it up, right? There are two ways that you will find yourself fatiguing, okay? There is cardiovascular fatigue and there is muscular fatigue, okay? So muscular fatigue is when your muscles are so fatigued that you can't lift the weight anymore. That's ideal. That's where we want to be. Cardiovascular fatigue is more when your heart rate has exceeded a certain threshold, okay? And most of you, if you're lifting really heavy weight, then as soon as you get to that level, you're not able to still lift the weight. But if you're training with a lighter weight, and I say this because when you enter this threshold, your body's going to start sending you signals that just cause you to want to give up. It causes you to, start having more self-doubt, start thinking about maybe this is really dangerous for me, okay? But it's not that dangerous for you, right? I can tell you so many stories of where I believed genuinely in my heart that it was too much for me, okay? But your body is way, way, way stronger than you think it is. And obviously you need to be in tune with your body. Obviously you need to understand and know your own self, and you need to know, I'm not telling you go into the gym, train like a madman, do crazy weight even though you've never really trained. No, I'm saying train hard, do it continuously, be consistent, work on yourself, so that way every single session you go in, you're trying to be better and better and better, train harder with heavier weight, and just grow, right? That's how you grow. You're not going to grow from following a training program to the T and just kind of showing up and never really pushing yourself past your limits. That's not going to work, okay? If you want to have a training partner, then get a training partner. Someone who can also push you, who can drive you, who can motivate you. If you want to get a coach because you feel like you lack the accountability, there's a link in my bio. Shameless plug, but I am a coach and I do help guys with things like this because I get it. Nobody else in your life is going to care as much about you and your success than a coach. Someone who dedicates their time, their energy, their life into this, that understands the problems that you're facing, that understands you, right? They take the time for that. So that's what I do. It's so important to me that you guys understand the difference here, because I swear, this gets me excited. It's like when you're down in a game, okay? You're down 5-0, right? Or let's say, screw a game for a second. You're on the squat rack, okay? You reach 6 reps. You're training really hard with really heavy weight. That was me. I had 3 plates on each side. I was at 6 reps and I got excited. It was excitement. Now, a lot of you guys need to understand that anxiety is excitement. Now, I read it somewhere and I don't remember exactly where I read it, but excitement is literally the thing that will drive you, okay? So like, you know how you have motivation and all of these things? Guys, I trained for 6 or 7 years without seeing progress, and I don't want that to be you. I genuinely don't. I was following a push-pull leg split. So here's what I want you guys to do. Instead of going to the gym to work on your body, achieve the physique that you want, I want to set you a challenge. Work on your mind, okay? So on each exercise that you do, I want you to literally conquer your mind. It's you versus you. That's it. You versus you. You have to conquer your mind. You have to kill the bitch inside of you that is causing you to feel all of these self-limiting beliefs and all of the self-doubt, all of the thoughts of, oh, I can't do this, this is too difficult for me, I'm so tired. You know, you need to fight that until you can break those beliefs, until you can break those feelings and break free from that. You're never gonna grow. You're never gonna grow because you're just gonna be held in the cage that your mind wants you to be held in. You have to break free from that. And the only way is literally by going to the gym and working physically on breaking it out and breaking out of that, okay? That's the only way. So guys, I wanna set you a challenge. The next time you go to the gym, instead of working on building just your physique and being so focused on the training program, being so focused on the exercises, the rep ranges, the order of the exercises, this information, this diet, I want you to focus on building up your pain tolerance, building up your discipline, building up the amount of pain that you can endure, because the pain that you can endure will lead to the growth that you're looking for, okay? That's the difference, right? Because your mind will, you will only ever grow to the limits that your mind and the standards that your mind has set for yourself. You won't go past that. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you make time for your workouts, no matter how much you sacrifice for this body, it's not gonna happen until you can make your body succumb to your mind, until you can raise the standards of your mind so that way your body has to meet it. Otherwise, you're just gonna stay where you're at. All right guys, it's been a pleasure and I really hope that you got some value from this video. Look, if you need my help and you really resonated with this video, there is a link in the description that will take you to a page where you can just book in a call with me and I'll see if I can help. If not, no worries, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it and do subscribe. Now I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.